one other super interesting aspect of your worldview is you're a big supporter of Biden. Can you explain what you love about Biden? Do you love Biden more than Sean Carroll or less?
Sean Carroll's just like in another world of
Gotcha.
admiration.
Gotcha.
I
I feel like I'm culturally appropriating you by saying gotcha now. But it's so convenient.
It's an easy word. We're on the same wavelength, okay? We're synchronizing. That's good.
I mean, it is really interesting because even the people that support Biden usually don't say they love, they don't support it strongly, you know?
Ideologically, philosophically, the reason why I like Biden is because he's really committed to this bringing the left and right together, which is something we so desperately need in the country. And his, statements over and over again of like, I'm not the Democrat president or the Republican president, I'm the president of the United States. His desire to bring Republicans together to work on things like the infrastructure bill, that's so incredibly needed. And I have a huge amount of respect and admiration for him for trying to push through on that message.
Do you think then it's unfortunate that he made that comment about MAGA?
MAGA Republicans?
Yeah. I mean, I forget what the comment was, but it's MAGA Republicans are not good people kind of thing.
I watched the full video and he's right. There is this toxic aspect, and it's hard to call out because they're always going to spin like, oh, he hates our Republicans. He's not. If you watch the quote, he's very specifically calling out like this group of people that think that the election was fraudulent.
Is it clear that's what he meant by?
We can bring it up.
All right. This.
Oh no. Uh-oh. But I remember watching it on stream. It was like, if he said it, yeah, that's bad. You could probably like YouTube MAGA Republicans Biden, but like it feels like it's pretty clear he's talking about the people that are like election denying.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear.
Listen to this part.
Very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country.
I disagree with that, man. He didn't clearly say extremist ideology. He didn't say the people that doubt the validity of the election.
I mean, that's Donald Trump.
No, but
that's all the candidates that Donald Trump is supporting. How many, like 40, 50, how many candidates right now that are MAGA candidates are election deniers?
No, but there's, 80 million or whatever people voted for Donald Trump. You could say that's the MAGA Republicans. So to me, it sounded like he was referring to not even the majority. I mean, that's one nice, helpful, clarifying statement, but it's basically there's the mainstream Republicans and then there's those that voted for Donald Trump. That's the way I heard it.
Okay.
And it's like, so
maybe you should have done a better job at clarifying, but
yeah,
I feel like there is a huge problem with this group of Americans that think that like the election is stolen. And it feels like that's what he's trying to call.
No matter if that's what he meant, even flirting with that line is not a person who's bringing people together.
I feel like the extending a hand to the I've worked with Republicans in Congress. Not even a majority of Republicans are like this.
No, but why say not the majority of Republicans are like this? Say like we're one country. We believe the same thing. So like focus on the uniting part versus saying
he does before and after. That was 50 seconds. Okay,
but that you never. The point is you never say something like that. Listen, like that. You've spoken about the Bosnia speech, which is your favorite of his.
Yeah,
I went back to and listened to it.
Before I move to that, just on this, it's really hard for him to call out that group of like election deniers, I think, without it always feeling
well, why call them out?
Because it's arguably one of the most destructive forces that exist in this country today.
Did it destroy anything?
They were trying to.
Did it, though? It didn't, did it?
So does that mean we don't call it out? We wait till next time?
No, because calling it out is giving fuel to the division. Like the people that doubted the validity of the election, that's anger, that's frustration with the other side. You heal that as opposed to saying all those people that believed that at any time are idiots. They're un-American.
I mean, they don't think the election was real. I don't know if Biden has the ears of these people at all. I don't know what he can do for...
There's people that believe the same thing in 2016 with the Russian hacking, right? There's this...
Hold on.
Yes.
That is a super not fair comparison. There are
Okay.
definitely, the mainstream Democrat opinion was that Russian intrusion in terms of like social media and stuff happened, but there was never a claim that like the election was stolen. Or at least I don't know of any mainstream Democrat that supported that. Donald Trump is not just saying there was interference and blah, blah, blah. Donald Trump is literally saying the election was literally stolen, that ballot boxes were hidden, that vote tallies were manipulated. That I think the claim is there's a huge gulf of difference between the two.
So you can attack Donald Trump for that.
Yeah.
I believe it's not the words of a uniter to attack people that believe that. You could argue maybe it's okay, but especially not being super clear about that, about who you're referring to when you say MAGA Republicans.
Okay.
Because MAGA is a hat and a slogan that refers to whatever the number is, 70 million people, whoever, that voted for Donald Trump. Like,
Of all the Republicans that consider themselves MAGA Republicans, what percentage of them do you think believe the election was stolen? I feel like that number is, I don't have the poll, but I feel like the number is like probably more than 70%.
what's a MAGA Republican? Maybe I'm not familiar.
Like a Trump supporting Republican, a MAGA Republican. They're there for Trump.
What's the difference between somebody that voted for Trump and a
MAGA Republican?
MAGA Republican?
So my mom is a MAGA Republican. If Trump ran independently and DeSantis ran under the Republican ticket, my mom would vote for Trump. She'll follow him to the end of the earth. That's like a MAGA Republican.
I think it's easy to mistake that distinction in these kinds of political speeches.
Okay.
Because to me, anybody who voted for Trump can easily, in the context of the speech, be interpreted as a MAGA Republican.
Gotcha. I understand what you're saying. Maybe he could have been more clear, but like I think in listening to that, like I think it's pretty obvious who he's talking about. But I guess if you have an emotional response to it, I can understand the emotional response. But there's a lot of people.
I don't have an emotional response. I just don't like. I think I'm with, what is it, Michelle Obama. They go low, we go high. Meaning, like, to me, a uniter doesn't participate in derision.
Sure, a uniter might not, but a leader has to be able to accurately assess the situation before him and make people aware of what's going on.
You mean all the impeachment trials, all the censoring from social media, all of that didn't do the job?
That's not
Right.
his job. I don't know about
but
censoring
already,
any of
that
that.
mechanism. His job is to inspire a nation, to unite a nation.
How can he do that when half the people don't believe that he was even legitimately elected? Like, I think he's done a good job at working on legislation and doing stuff that hopefully benefits all Americans. But I think it's important to recognize that, like, there is a contingent of Americans that don't even believe that, like, this is
There
really
is
crazy.
plenty of people that recognize that and are fighting that and are constantly screaming that from the rooftops. His job is to be the inspiring figure that makes the majority of Americans be proud for him to be a president of the nation they love. And that's what the uniting aspect is you remind people that we are one and we love this country. We love the ideas that it represents.
Sure, he does that in other parts of that speech. It's like a 20-minute speech, isn't it?
But that's a fuck up. You just don't participate in that division. Anyway, I understand. I just wanted to push back on the saying one of his strengths is that he's uniting. But yes, that is an ideal, that is a goal, is a great one. And he is one that espoused that goal for a long time. Do you think, what else? So from policy perspective and so on.
I thought the way he's handled Ukraine and everything thus far has been almost perfect. I think he did a really good job at the political maneuvering, at bringing other countries into the fold, at establishing clearly like what our mission was in relation to Ukraine. I thought he did a good job there. I admire him for pulling out of Afghanistan, even if it was a little bit rough around the edges. Like we got out and we're gone. No American lives were lost. The domestic policy, he's passed more major legislation than I think anybody thought possible. The green energy stuff with the last bill, the infrastructure bill, a lot of the coronavirus relief I thought was really good, especially the expansion of the child tax credit. So from a policy perspective, foreign and domestic, I think he's been successful. Rhetorically, I think he's generally been above board in terms of like not attacking people or being too divisive. He's trying to bring people together and work on them.
What do you think about the sort of popular in the media criticism of his mental decline? Do you think he's experiencing mental decline?
He's an old guy.
But do you think, I mean,
yeah, maybe a little bit, but he's still doing a good job. So,
not from a speech perspective, you mean from a policy perspective?
Yeah, I'm analyzing it as a job. Yeah. From a speech perspective, maybe not the greatest, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely, what is he, like 80, 81? How old is he?
Yeah. I lose track after so many years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you did say that he's probably going to run in 2024 and he's probably going to win.
Did I say that he's probably going to win? No way did I say
Heard
that.
that somewhere.
He's probably going to run.
Okay.
Who knows who will win? But I think I feel like the incumbent advantage is so strong. Are you really going to throw that away? Like, I think it's been like 1 or 2 times in history in the U.S., right, where like the non-incumbent, the parties put somebody else up.
Yeah, I mean the concern is like just the age and the mental decline, just the wear and tear of the campaign, all of that kind of stuff, all of the speech you have to make, the debates, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What?
The least excited.
I mean, 2 years from now is a long time. And his current mental state,
Yeah.
he could run and do it. He could
Yeah.
do a passable job. In 2 years, man, I don't know. I've seen videos of Bill Clinton recently. He's looking pretty rough. If Biden is looking a lot more rough, worse for wear in 2 years, then maybe they actually do have to dig out another person for running. Yeah, who knows?